Cheese has long been a staple in the diets of many older adults in the U.S., not just for its rich, creamy flavor and ease of eating, but also because of a common belief: cheese is good for your bones. But after age 60, not every type of cheese supports strong bones, a healthy heart, or restful sleep. In fact, some popular varieties may quietly raise your blood pressure, disrupt your sleep, or cause bloating without you even noticing. According to data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey (NACHANES), more than 68% of Americans over 60 eat at least one type of cheese weekly. Yet, nearly half of them don't realize they're regularly consuming cheeses that exceed the recommended levels of sodium and saturated fat for their age group. You might think of cheese as just a side item, something optional, not all that important. But after years of working with older patients, one thing is clear: choosing the wrong type of cheese every day can gradually and quietly erode your health. So today, we're counting down the 4 types of cheese to avoid, starting with the least harmful and ending with the one that does the most damage. After that, we'll shift to 4 better choices cheeses that can help support deeper sleep, better memory, and stronger bones when eaten regularly each week. Before we dive in, let me ask, where are you watching from? Drop your state or country in the comments. I'd love to know where you are on your journey toward better health after 60. Now let's begin with number 4 on the list of cheeses to cut back on, a widely available, super convenient choice that may quietly be undermining your cardiovascular health if you eat it too often. Number 4, processed American cheese. You've definitely seen it, those thin, orange-yellow slices individually wrapped, melt easily in grilled cheese or burgers, and are available in every grocery store from Texas to New York. Cheap, convenient, and familiar, many older adults assume. It's just another type of cheese, right? Not quite. Processed American cheese is one of the furthest things from real cheese. It's made from a mix of milk oils, emulsifiers, artificial flavors, and food coloring. The natural structure is gone, and so are most of the nutritional benefits of true dairy. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that daily consumption of processed cheese significantly raises LDL bad cholesterol and contributes to hypertension and artery stiffening, especially in those over 60 when liver and kidney function are already beginning to decline. Worse yet, it's loaded with sodium. One slice can contain 450 mg of salt. Eat 2 slices with a sandwich, then have a salty dinner, and you're easily over 2,000 mg of sodium in a day, more than the recommended limit for older adults managing blood pressure. Nutritionally processed cheese has little to offer. It's low in protein, not particularly high in calcium, and can cause bloating in those with slower digestion. So why do people keep eating it? Because it's easy, familiar, and it melts nicely. But if you love the melt-in-your-sandwich experience, here's a better option: switch to real cheddar block style, aged and minimally processed. Slice it thin. You don't need much. It contains less sodium, no artificial emulsifiers, and still delivers real protein, calcium, and beneficial cultures that support digestion. Cheese can absolutely be part of a healthy diet, but not everything yellow, stretchy, and melty is your friend. Sometimes the things that are most convenient and familiar are exactly what hold your health back quietly, day by day. And if processed cheese is the mistake people make because it's too easy, then number 3 is the cheese that misleads with softness, richness, and elegance, but offers almost nothing your body can actually use after 60. Number 3, cream cheese. Soft, smooth, and easy to spread, cream cheese seems like a safe option for older adults. Many start their mornings with a slice of white bread, a swipe of cream cheese, and a cup of tea. It feels light and simple, but in reality, that breakfast is low in protein, high in fat, and does almost nothing to truly nourish your body. Cream cheese isn't aged or fermented like traditional cheeses. It's mostly made from milk fat and stabilizers, giving it that velvety texture. but stripping away most of the benefits of real cheese. It's low in protein, very low in calcium, and contains virtually no live probiotic cultures. It tastes rich, but your body gets very little from it. A typical serving, about 2 tablespoons, contains around 10 grams of fat, over 5 grams of it saturated, and less than 2 grams of protein. That means you're taking in empty calories, quick energy that fades fast. For someone over 60 with a slower metabolism that leads to belly fat, blood sugar, instability, and unexplained fatigue. A 2020 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that breakfasts high in fat, but low in protein and fiber, especially those centered around high-fat dairy like cream cheese, reduce insulin sensitivity and disrupt sleep quality later that night. And there's more. Cream cheese is often paired with refined white bread, which spikes blood sugar, increases cravings later in the day, and contributes to gradual hard-to-control weight gain over time. The problem with cream cheese is that it feels like you're eating light, but your body is being fed something nearly empty. And if it's a daily habit, you may be missing a valuable chance to give your body the nutrients it truly needs to stay strong, clear-headed, and well-rested after 60, without even realizing it. Number 2. Prepackaged shredded cheese. At first glance, it looks convenient. Just tear the bag, sprinkle it on pasta, salad, or soup, no grating, no slicing, no mess. But that very convenience may be quietly wearing your body down, causing bloating, sluggish digestion, and a steady buildup of salt and fat. I once had a 73-year-old patient who proudly told me he ate very scientifically oatmeal for breakfast, vegetable soup for lunch, and pasta with shredded cheese at dinner. But his blood pressure and liver enzyme levels were unusually high. Nothing obvious stood out in his diet until we looked closer at the cheese packet. Each small serving was loaded with additives like cellulose and sodium phosphate, used to prevent clumping, mold, and melting. Most bagged shredded cheeses are coated with a fine layer of food-grade cellulose, essentially powdered wood pulp. It's not toxic, but it's indigestible. For older adults, that can mean bloating, gas, and reduced absorption of other nutrients, especially when digestion naturally slows with age. And to keep the cheese from molding or discoloring for weeks, manufacturers often add preservatives and extra sodium. A 2022 Consumer Reports study found that many store-bought shredded cheeses had sodium levels up to 40% higher than the same cheese sold in block form. So what you thought was just a light sprinkle for flavor may actually be loading your body with stress, particularly on your heart and kidneys. What's worse is that many people don't realize they're eating a half-real, half-fake product. It looks like cheese, but the taste fades quickly, the smell feels artificial, and the ingredients force your body to work overtime just to filter out what shouldn't be there in the first place. I often tell my patients, you don't need to give up cheese, but give up the kind that makes your body work hard to process things it never asked for. Pre-shredded cheese is the perfect example of a product that seems to save you time, but slowly drains your health one sprinkle at a time. Number 1. Super salty aged blue cheeses, packaged blue cheese Roquefort. Gorgonzola. Blue cheese is an ancient invention. In medieval Europe, people discovered that letting milk mold under the right conditions could create a sharp, rich, and long-lasting food. Classics like France's Roquefort, Italy's Gorgonzola, and American-style blue cheese all began as practical ways to preserve dairy in the days before refrigeration. And yes, if you're 25, eating freely, digesting well, enjoying wine and cheese nights with friends, no problem. Your body has the enzymes, gut strength, and immune function to handle intense, salty, moldy cheeses. But after 60, your immune system is weaker, blood pressure more sensitive, and kidney function slower. What was once considered a delicacy can quietly become a health burden. Industrial blue cheeses often pack in massive sodium, up to 400 to 500 milligrams per ounce, just 28 grams. Just a couple slices, And you've already hit nearly half your daily sodium limit, when older adults should be aiming for under 500 milliliters per day to protect heart and kidney health. Then there's the mold itself, typically Penicillium roqueforti or glaucum. While they give blue cheese its signature flavor, they're not ideal for aging digestive systems. For people taking blood pressure meds, blood thinners, or managing arthritis, these molds can trigger headaches, insomnia, or digestive issue symptoms, often mistaken for just getting old. Harvard Health Publishing has also warned that high intake of blue cheese in seniors may be linked to migraine, sleep disruption, and inflammation of blood vessel linings, a known risk factor for stroke. Many people say, "But I eat it because it's delicious." And it is no argument there. But after 60, the better question is no longer, does it taste good, but is this still right for my body today? If you occasionally crumble a little blue cheese on a salad or into a sauce, that's fine. But if it's become a regular habit and you're dealing with blood pressure swings, poor sleep, or digestive trouble, it may be time to reconsider. Because after 60, your body doesn't want heavy anymore. It wants clean, easy-to-digest foods that support energy, healing, and clarity. The good news: not all cheeses are harmful. In fact, some are quietly powerful allies, helping you sleep better, maintain muscle, reduce inflammation, and protect memory. They're not expensive or exotic, just underused. Let's now shift to the 4 types of cheese that deserve a regular spot in your diet after 60. Starting with number 4. A soft, light, fruit-friendly cheese that's surprisingly high in the kind of protein your body truly needs. Number 4. Fresh ricotta low-sodium whole milk. Ricotta might sound fancy or unfamiliar, but it's actually easy to find, available at most U.S. grocery stores, from Walmart to Whole Foods to Trader Joe's. And it's one of the rare cheeses your body over 60 will genuinely thank you for. It's not strong-smelling, not overly rich, and has a smooth, creamy texture. But the real value is in the quality of its nutrition. Ricotta is made from whey, the protein-rich liquid left over after producing harder cheeses. That means it delivers easy-to-digest protein, very little saturated fat, and almost no lactose, making it far gentler on older digestive systems. In 100 grams of fresh ricotta, you get about 11 grams of protein, just 4 grams of saturated fat, and around 200 milligrams of calcium, an ideal ratio for supporting muscle and bone strength without overloading the heart or liver. Even better, ricotta contains tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body produce serotonin, naturally improving mood and sleep. How much should you eat? About 120 grams per day. Roughly half a cup is enough for older adults. You can split it into 2 portions, mix into oatmeal in the morning, and pair with fresh fruit in the evening. Eating more won't help you feel better. In fact, it could lead to excess calories and weight gain if not balanced with the rest of your diet. I once suggested to a 74-year-old patient who struggled with sleep and frequent bloating to swap her morning cream cheese toast for overnight oats, mixed with ricotta topped with fruit and seeds. 10 days later, she told me, "My stomach feels lighter. I fall asleep easier. I don't wake up in the middle of the night anymore." Ricotta doesn't need to be complicated. You can mix it with fruit oats or chia seeds for a cool, nourishing breakfast, or stuff it into roasted bell peppers or squash, or layer it into lasagna. Even sprinkled with cinnamon or unsweetened cocoa, it becomes a guilt-free dessert. Most importantly, it doesn't create noise in the body. No bloating, no inflammation, no extra work for your liver. Ricotta isn't just cheese, it's a quiet daily gift you can give your body to feel lighter, stronger, and more in control. Number 3. Feta cheese made from sheep's milk. I still remember one morning at the clinic when Irene, a 69-year-old Greek patient, brought me a small container of white cheese she made herself. She said, "This is what's kept me off blood pressure meds for 5 years." I thought she was joking until I reviewed her diet, sleep quality, and blood pressure. Then it started to make sense. What she used every morning wasn't American cheese or cream cheese, it was fresh sheep's milk. Feta crumbled over salad with cucumber olives and tomatoes, lightly salty, slightly tangy, and just rich enough to be satisfying without feeling heavy. Sheep's milk feta isn't just a Mediterranean tradition. It's one of the most senior-friendly cheeses you can find. Sheep's milk has a softer protein, structure is easier to digest than cow's milk, and usually contains less lactose, reducing the risk of bloating and digestive discomfort in older adults. Feta also contains CLA-conjugated linoleic acid, a fatty acid known for its anti-inflammatory properties and its role in naturally improving cholesterol profiles. A 2021 study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults who ate feta cheese 3 to 4 times a week as part of a Mediterranean-style diet had more stable blood pressure, reduced vascular inflammation, and better sleep quality, especially in those over 60. Though slightly salty feta can be incredibly nutritious when used the right way. Just 30 to 40 gram per serving, about 2 tablespoons crumbled, is enough. Eat it cold to preserve the live enzymes, mix with greens, olives, and seeds, or sprinkle onto whole grain toast with fresh tomato slices. If you prefer warm meals, you can lightly steam it with squash or stir into soup after it's off the heat. I still remember what Irene told me that day I eat it. Because it makes me feel light, not because someone said it's healthy. It suits me. And that's the key. The best foods aren't just good. They're the ones that match your body's needs right now. Number 2, cottage cheese. If there's one cheese that seems tailor-made for people over 60, it's cottage cheese. Light, low in salt, easy to chew, and packed with something aging bodies need most: slow-digesting protein to support muscle and promote deeper sleep. Unlike aged salty cheeses, cottage cheese is fresh, minimally processed, and often made from low-fat milk. In every 100 g serving, you get around 11 to 13 g of protein, just 4 g of fat, and under 100 mg of sodium if you choose the low-sodium version. A 2018 study in the British Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consume 30 grams of protein from cottage cheese 30 to 60 minutes before bed experience significantly deeper sleep and less muscle loss, sarcopenia. The reason cottage cheese contains casein, a slow-digesting protein that delivers a steady stream of amino acids throughout the night while you sleep. I once worked with a 76-year-old man in Oregon who was very lean and often woke with leg cramps. We added a small evening portion of cottage cheese with half a banana. 2 weeks later, he told me with a smile, I slept straight through and woke up without that calf pain. Besides protein, cottage cheese is a natural source of tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body make serotonin, which in turn converts to melatonin, the hormone that controls sleep. Many of my older patients fall asleep more easily with a small serving of cottage cheese and a few almonds instead of taking a sleep pill. How much do you need? Just half a cup, about 100 to 120 per day, is enough, ideally in the late afternoon or evening. If you have it in the morning, pair it with oats, fresh fruit, or sprinkle with cinnamon and chia seeds. At night, just a few spoonfuls, cold, simple, can be enough to support sleep and muscle recovery as you rest. Most importantly, cottage cheese is gentle. It doesn't bloat, doesn't inflame, doesn't spike blood sugar or blood pressure, as long as you choose the low-sodium, unsweetened variety. This isn't cheese for the sake of flavor alone. It's nourishment from the inside out, for muscles, for sleep, for a body that still wants to garden clean and remember the names of everyone it loves. Number 1, real Parmesan, Parmigiano Reggiano. If there's one cheese that truly deserves the title of natural calcium support for older adults, it's real Parmesan, specifically the authentic Italian kind known as Parmigiano Reggiano. This isn't the powdered cheese in a plastic jar on a supermarket shelf. It's a dense wheel of cheese aged naturally from fresh cow's milk for 12 to 36 months with no additives and no artificial preservatives. Why is it number 1 first? The nutrition. Just 1 tablespoon of real Parmesan, about 10 gram, contains over 110 micromolars of calcium, along with vitamin K2, a critical nutrient that helps direct calcium into your bones instead of your arteries. That matters immensely after 60, when the risk of osteoporosis, artery calcification, and hip fractures rises sharply. A 2020 study in the British Journal of Nutrition found that adults over 65 who ate 20 to 30 green of Parmigiano Reggiano weekly had 27% higher bone density and a lower risk of fractures compared to those who didn't consume it. But Parmesan doesn't just help your bones. It's also one of the few cheeses that still contains live probiotics and natural digestive enzymes thanks to its long fermentation process. That makes it a gentle aid for the gut-improving absorption of B vitamins, calcium, and magnesium, all of which are often deficient in older adults with slower digestion. I once suggested to a 72-year-old woman in San Diego who struggled with bloating and couldn't tolerate milk to try half a tablespoon of Parmesan daily sprinkled on vegetable soup or salad. She later told me it felt like a prescription-free remedy. Her stomach felt lighter, her sleep deeper, and most surprisingly, her appetite returned. And here's the best part, you don't need much. Just 1 to 2 small spoonfuls a day, about 10-15 gr, is enough. It's a concentrated food rich in nutrients and flavor. But be sure it's the real deal. Look for the words Parmigiano Reggiano engraved on the rind and a deep, nutty aroma that's unmistakably different from processed cheese. Real Parmesan isn't just seasoning, it's a natural, time-tested support system for bones, heart, and gut health. It's been part of daily life in Italy from childhood to age 90. And when used correctly in the right amount, it can be a small but solid part of living well without relying on endless supplements. Closing message. And there it is, a full journey through the cheeses to avoid and the ones your body will truly benefit from after age 60. Some types quietly load your body with salt, saturated fat, and inflammation, leaving you feeling tired and off balance without knowing why. But others nourish from within, building stronger bones, calming digestion, deepening sleep, and keeping the mind clear. What I've learned over years of working with older adults isn't about what to eat to live longer. It's about what to eat so that each day feels lighter, more in control, and less tied to medications or discomfort. You don't need to memorize every nutrient. You don't have to change everything overnight. You don't need to eat all 4 good cheeses or cut out every bad one completely. Just choose 1 or 2 that suit you, eat them consistently and in the right amount, and your body will begin to shift in a lasting, meaningful way. Because no, you're not 25 anymore, but you also don't have to live afraid of aging. After 60, your body can still be strong, clear, and active if you feed it the right way. I always say food is the one thing you choose to put into your body every single day. It can be a burden or a tool, and only you decide which one it is. If you're still here reading this, I want to say sincerely thank you. You are the reason this channel exists, to help people not just live long, but live well. What state are you living in? What kind of cheese do you eat most often? Drop it in the comments below. I read everyone. And if I can, I'll suggest something better for you. Wishing you a peaceful day, a deep night's sleep, and a strong body that lets you do what you love, even in a chapter of life that's no longer young, but still full of choices.